Shrink wrap ASMR. Ooh. So, whilst myself and a lot of people in Australia are eagerly awaiting the arrival of the 4K Steelbook edition of the Elm Street films, at the moment we have the regular edition that's pretty much hitting shelves on say like JB Hi-Fi and all that, and I was tempted to get it. It's like 140 bucks, but it just makes no sense that if in a couple of weeks we're getting the Steelbook editions, which I have ordered, and when that arrives I'm going to be doing an unboxing and a very thorough review of the transfers, the special features. I know everyone's out there at the moment, you know, in the United States, uploading their reviews, but I don't give a shit. I've covered that box set enough that I owe you guys a review. Whilst we're waiting for that, I had something that arrived today that I've also been covering and that I'm very excited about. The Spawn 1997 film 4K from Arrow. So today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and also, like the Elm Street collection, when that arrives, a very thorough review. So sit back, relax, and let's unbox this bad boy. Bad Spawn. Bad Spawn. So yeah, this arrived today. I ordered it a couple of days ago. I didn't realize that it was in Australia now. I ordered through Outrun DVD, who I also ordered the first Nightmare on Elm Street 4K from last year, and also the box set, which should be arriving in a couple of weeks' time. So without further ado, let's take this out of the box. Bubble wrap and all. And this is my first ever Arrow purchase. And there we go. So let's get this shrink wrap off. Come here, you bastard. Shrink wrap ASMR. Ooh. Okay, so there we go with the slip cover. So look, I am all for original new art for releases sometimes, but I love that they went with the original theatrical poster. I think it just embodies the late 90s, moody, broody, and that is Spawn. So we'll take the slip case off. Now you do have the same poster on this side, but take the cover out of the case, you can flip it over and you have the alternate cover, which was seen on a lot of VHSs and DVDs throughout the years. So for when it came to Australia and the VHS, we had the regular cut with this cover, and then for the director's cut, which I'm going to be referencing in the review, we had this cover. And this is the one I pretty much remember from being a kid and renting it on VHS. So I always rented the director's cut. So I essentially didn't know any different. When it came time for the brand new DVD release and then the Blu-ray release and then, like, you know, streaming and stuff like that, when I'd watch it and it was the regular cut, I was like, the fuck is that? There was so much stuff missing, and it just kind of softens the blow of the darkness, the grittiness of Spawn. So I'm going to pop this back in. I'm going to go with the regular theatrical poster because, again, it's simple and I just love it. And of course, an obligatory injection molded plastic. And there's the back. So we've got a lot of info on the back. So when it comes to what cut of the film I'm going to be referencing for my review, it's going to be the director's cut. The theatrical cut, again, it's pretty soft. So on the back it says 4K Ultra HD limited edition contents, 4K restoration of both the director's cut and theatrical cut of the film from the original camera negatives by Arrow Films, reversible sleeve featuring 2 original artwork options, which I've shown off. Disc 1, the director's cut, 4K 2160p Ultra HD Blu-ray presentation, original DTS HDMA 5.1 surround audio, and looseless stereo audio options. Now the special features are the ones I'm really excited about. There's an interview with Howard Berger and Greg Nicotero of KMB, who I spoke with Howard Berger a good couple of weeks ago, confirming that this piece was indeed made by them, which makes it extra special. There's a brand new interview with Michael Jai White, which I'm very eager to see, because he has a bit of a distaste for Spawn. It doesn't sit well with him from what he's said, especially when it came to the original cut of the film and what he was essentially promised. Audio commentary with Todd McFarlane, Mark A. DePay, which was the director, Clint Goldman, Steve Spaz Williams, Hell's Perfect Son, brand new interview with actor Michael Jai White, Spawn Support, a brand new interview with actors Melinda Clark and D.B. Sweeney, Devils in the Details, brand new interview with animatronic creature special effects makeup artist Howard Berger, Greg Nicotero, The Devil's Music. So we've got a lot here. So I'm actually pretty impressed that they kind of went the extra 9 yards to give us some special features for this. And I was hoping for the same with the Elm Street box set. From what I'm hearing and seeing with reviews, there are new special features, but it's not exactly on par with like brand new, like this edition. Now, before we get on to the actual review, I thought I'd show you guys what actually comes inside the box and just give you a closer look at the packaging. So nice, simple, and obviously we've got the double up cover as well with the other alternate poster. So for the first disc, we have the classic theatrical poster. And then for the second disc, we have the alternate poster. Now there is a little flip book in here. So here's like an advertisement for Arrow. Want more Arrow video? Of course we do. Now this is a fold out theatrical poster. And you've also got the alternate one as well, which is cool. You know me, you know my stance on this. I just don't like the fact that they come folded, but it makes sense to fold up and put in there. Now this little booklet is pretty sweet. Like it's got some beautiful photos. So you flip through here, you've got Spawn on the cross there, which is great. And I wouldn't say they're rare photos, but photos I haven't seen in quite a while. So still very cool nonetheless. So you've got a piece written by John Turani, Spawn's long, hard road of comic book movie hell. Indeed it was. Beautiful shot there of Cagliostro taking Spawn off the fence when he gets fucked up by Violator. Got the clown, we've got Martin Sheen as Win, and nice shot of the Violator, and more shots of Michael Jai White, Melinda Clarke, Spawn when he's trying to figure out all these powers. So, you know, it's pretty wordy, which is good. That's a great shot. I actually have never seen that shot before. Sweet. Great shot of Al Simmons being killed, Clown and Wanda. Another great shot of the Violator when he gets impaled. And about the presentation, production credits, and special thanks. And there you go. Nice little keepsake booklet. So with that being said, I'm going to fire up my PS5 out there in the living room. I'm going to wait till it gets dark because it's too light at the moment and I really need to appreciate the colors and everything that's gone into the transfer. And I can't exactly do it with a glaring TV screen at the moment. So stand by.
3 hours later.
Alrighty, so I've watched the film and checked out most of the special features because keep in mind a few pieces of commentaries and especially that featurette from all those years ago have been recycled. So I'm going to be scoring on the transfer, the sound, the special features, the packaging, and then overall. When it comes to the transfer of the film, I definitely think this is the best the film has and possibly will ever look. I definitely appreciated the details in, say, the Spawn costume, John Leguizamo's beautiful clown makeup a lot more. Seeing all those beautiful, intricate airbrush details on the clown's head was incredible. The blacks are rich and deep. The daytime scenes look great. It's utilizing that film grain more so than the darker scenes, which is weird. Usually it's the other way around, or maybe I'm just wrong. So there were certain points in the film that I really wanted to hone in on just to see how it looked compared to, say, like the DVD and the VHS back in the day. So that was the opening credits, daytime scenes, which I just touched on, Al's death, because there's that kind of weird face blending going on when he starts to burn up and get sent to hell, resurrection and hell scenes. The Batman entrance, I call that the Batman entrance because he smashes through the skylight with that beautiful looking cape. The Violator fight and the final hell fight. Now, for the most part, everything looked terrific, sans the hell scenes. And that was definitely expected because even back in 1997, 1998, when the film came out on home release, those scenes look pretty crook. It definitely was an afterthought because of the budget restraint, but you also had a director that by trade was a VFX artist. So of course those scenes were going to look crook. Malbolgia, the hellscape, everything. It definitely shows its age, but I expected that. And the scene of Spawn crashing through the skylight, Batman style, the cape definitely looks very outdated. There was one shot of the cape where I'm like, damn, that looks really good. It's when he's breaking into the armory before he confronts Win at that party, and he's running over that little crossbeam area. Cape looked great there. But again, for the most part, this transfer is stunning, sans the already back then outdated looking CGI. Now, when it comes to the sound, I'm not very good at critiquing sound. There are some people that may have a different ear and be like, this doesn't seem right. But for the most part, the sound was booming. It was beautiful. There were a few instances where the score, the background noise kind of drowned out the voices at times. It wasn't a lot. It was more few and far between, but just little pockets here and there. I was like, oh, I had to keep kind of turning up, turning down, turning up, turning down. And then when I'd have it turned up and explosions and things would happen, I'm like, holy shit, that's really loud. So maybe that's just a me problem and fine tuning my sound system. But overall, it sounded pretty damn good. I would like to invest in a brand new soundbar, something that's a bit more up to date. I feel like that would definitely help with the experience. When it comes to the special features, this is one I was really excited about, guys. Look, I feel like I'm being a bit greedy. I would have loved a lot more, but I feel like it's better than nothing. I'm glad they didn't just recycle special features like that Making of Spawn featurette and those commentaries from years and years and years ago, and they're just like, that's all you get. But no, we got a brand new interview with Michael Jai White, which was very interesting. He does seem a little bit jaded about the experience, especially when it comes to the costume, but that's to be expected. He goes into detail about how he based the character of Al Simmons off his brother, which I didn't know. His brother was in Special Forces. I didn't realize, well, I just totally forgot that Todd McFarlane based Al Simmons on his friend, who was actually called Al Simmons. But yeah, Michael goes into great detail. At one point, he was cast as Jax in the new line Mortal Kombat film. That didn't work out. He got cast as Spawn. And he says to the producers and his agent, so can I play Jax in this and Spawn? And they're like, no. Now, when it came to the interview with Greg Nicotero and Howard Berger talking about the behind the scenes and creating the costumes for Spawn and Clown and everything, that was definitely my favorite segment in these special features. They had brand new behind the scenes photos. They had photos of like the final sculpt that this piece is derived from that was so cool to see. But just going into detail about how they got the job and just behind the scenes stuff, you know, applying the makeup to John Leguizamo, Michael Jai White. They said at one point, Greg and Howard said they got pulled into Bob Shaye's office. Bob Shaye, founder of New Line Cinema, and got strips torn off them because the Spawn suit, for the most part, they wanted it matte. They wanted no sheen on it. They got it on set. And Greg and Howard said it looked like a giant car tire. Bob Shaye took him in the office, tore shreds off them, and with that, they looked at each other and they're like, get as much KY jelly lube as you can and just lube that fucking thing up, lube Michael's head up, and they did, and it just looked brilliant. It just read well on screen after that. The light that refracted off the suit, and that's why it's such a cool looking suit, because of how slimy and organic it looks. Going back to the interview with Michael Jai White, he was talking about Nicole Williams, who plays Cuddly Astro, and he was saying they were filming the final hell fight, and he's standing next to him. Michael's standing next to Nicole Williams, and he's complaining about his medieval costume. And he's like, oh, this is bullshit. And then he looks over at Michael and all this heavy makeup, and he's like, oh yeah, it's all right, I guess. And going back to the Howard Berger, Greg Nicotero interview, it was cool to see they built an actual puppet of Malbolgia. Totally forgot that they built a practical one, and that just got replaced with state-of-the-art, beautiful-looking CGI. The interview with Melinda Clark, DB Sweeney was great, just seeing things from their perspective and see where their careers are at now. We also had the interview with Happy Walters, the music supervisor. Order Out of Chaos, a brand new interview with editor Michael Knu. So it's great. There's something for everyone in front and behind the camera, and then we've obviously got the Making of Spawn, which is archived. Those extra commentaries which are archived. There's the brand new commentary by comic book expert and podcast host Dave Baxter. I haven't listened to that one. I actually would like to. I'd like to hear things from his perspective and his thoughts on the film and the behind the scenes stuff. And then obviously there's theatrical trailer, preview, Todd McFarlane Spawn, like a lot of just recycled stuff, which is fine. You know, it kind of like pads things out. But the main new interviews with, you know, the music supervisor, editor, Melinda Clark, DB Sweeney, Michael Jai White, the K&B boys, those were terrific. And again, it's better than nothing. I would have loved a few more, like a big retrospect, but to me, these are individual retrospects. So guys, overall, I'm going to be giving the Spawn 4K release from Arrow in terms of the transfer. I'm going to be giving that a 4 out of 5. The sound mix, I'm going to be giving that also a 4 out of 5. Special features, again, I wanted to be a bit more spoiled, but I think what we got is pretty damn impressive and cool, and new behind the scenes stories, anecdotes, photos as well. So special features, I'm also given a 4 out of 5. And the packaging, you know, it's a little bit plain. Look, I would have loved some original art, but like I said at the beginning of my review, I'm a sucker for a good old plain moody poster. But I'll just give it a 3 out of 5. Overall, this is a 4 out of 5 for me. I think this is the best the film has ever looked. A lot of care has been taken with the look and sound of the film. The special features, again, I thought we were going to get next to nothing. So I am just happy with anything, maybe just a few more, but I feel like this is a beautiful looking transfer. You really do appreciate, not that I didn't in the past, but just all the hard work that went in to make this film look the way it does. Sans a CGI, but that was obviously a budgetary constraint. There's a whole nother chapter and story about that. Look, I would have loved to have seen a retrospective about that. They do go into it in some detail in the little booklet that comes with this, so it's definitely worth a read, actually. There you go, guys. That is my review of the Spawn 4K release from Arrow. I was very excited to pick this one up. Definitely worth the $1 dues. If you are going to pick it up, or if you have picked it up, let me know your thoughts down below on this one. Love you guts, and I'll catch you in the next one.